degrees and sunny.
Well, welcome back into the studio for March's Year of the Book. So last month in February, we pulled these prompts: red, letters, and mosaic. And we worked on this layout last month. So now we are on to the next layout. And this year I've been doing things in order, just for something a little different. And this is what we have. So I'm not quite sure where I'm gonna go with this. I do know I'm probably gonna use Perial Red. That's my favorite red. But in terms of letters and mosaic, I'm not really quite sure what I'm gonna do. I'm going to pull out some collage fodder and get started. So I've pulled out some items from my little bits basket and tried to focus on reds because I knew I needed to bring red into this. And I did go searching through my handwritten items and found some letters, and I brought those over. So that's what you're seeing here on the lined paper with the handwriting and the pink paper with the handwriting. Those are from letters that were sent to me actually, and so I'm using those in the collage to meet one of the requirements, as well as the red actually, because I'll have collage fodder going down that's red as well.
Degrees and sunny, just the way I always wanted. 더 바랄 것도 없어. 지금 이대로면 좋아. 따스한 햇볕이 가득 담은 Sand River. The bluebirds peacefully sing along.
You know, I'm looking back as I'm collaging these pages, and it's a lot of space to cover in collage. And I'm just looking back through some of the items that I'm using and reminiscing about possibly where I got them or where I know I got them. Like that bright red with the florals on it paper, that was a friend of mine and I did a book exchange, like an Advent book exchange, and we gave each other a book for each month through 2023 to read, and I just loved all the papers from them. They were just so, every book had a different paper wrapped in it. So I just kind of took pieces of them out and stuck them over in with my collage fodder because they were just so nice. And then the letters, of course, were letters that I'd received from a friend, and I have no idea where I got that die cut. That's not a die cut. I don't own that die, so I'm not quite sure where that came from, and I only have this random one piece left. I think I remember using some of these in a prior video I did on revamping your cast off, so your bits from your bits basket, and giving them a little pizzazz. I remember using some of them in there, so I think I had a bunch that were given to me. But it's just so fun to go back through and say, oh my gosh, look at this packaging, because in here you'll see some Tylenol packaging that I picked up off the road. It was like trash someone had thrown out on our road, and I stopped, picked it up, and threw it in the car, and then I pulled it out to go throw the trash away, and I was like, oh, that's got some nice visual texture on it. I should save that. So I don't know if you kind of reminisce as you're collaging, but definitely doing a little bit of that as I go through and edit this long period of time where I'm trying to collage down onto these essentially 4 pages. I have a couple of these heavier weight papers that I'm having a hard time getting to stick down onto this really lightweight graph paper, and then the middle insert. And you'll see I put some matte medium on the paper, and then I put some matte medium on the back of the piece I'm trying to adhere. I find that when I have matte medium on both surfaces, those heavier weight papers will stick. If it had given me more problems, I'd have come back in and either glued it with Fabri-Tac or with the E6000, which I love both of those glues.
Just the way I always wanted. 지금 이대로면 좋아. 따스한 햇볕이 가득 담은 Sand River. The bluebirds peacefully sing along that I love you. Oh, 그대여 나와의 거리를 걸어요. 난 그저 잔디밭에 누워 있어도 좋아요. 반짝이는 저기 Eiffel Tower shines from anywhere 아름다워. When I'm not with you, all these shiny seas don't mean a thing. 눈동자 비친 Avenue des Champs-Élysées. 그대와 같이 오르면 지금 I love you. Oh, 그대여 나와의 거리를 걸어요.
So out comes my favorite Pyro Red, which is an orangey red, but I felt like it really matched that paper, that wrapping paper in the background. I decided I really didn't want a lot of control of where this went, so I decided to use my yellow scraper to lay it down. The arc, I don't know where that came from. That's just the way my hand went when I went to go put it in. But I thought it was kind of fun and really sporadic, and it didn't have any precise placement. So that's really what I was looking for in the long one with adding the red into the page. And contrary to my brain thinking, oh, this is going to be a lot of red, I dried down that side and went on to the next and added it to those pages as well. All right, so I've pulled out this gesso and I really want to kind of do the same thing where it's just, I have no control over where that gesso's going. So I'm just splodging some down on the page and bringing out my brayer and getting that gesso brayered over the page. I'm trying to really let it dry a little bit as I'm brayering so it pulls some up and gives us some texture, visual texture on there. Well, it's actual texture too, but and let some of the stuff in the background kind of peek through that haziness that will happen with that gesso. So that's what's happening now. And here I've dried it in between and I'm going back in with just a tad more gesso in some high points. So where the texture that I've laid down, the collage, is higher than others, and just getting a little bit brighter white areas. And then I'm going to get that dry and go on to the other two pages.
The bluebirds peaceful to sing along that I love you. Oh, 그대여 나의 거리를 걸어요.
And on this side, I got a little carried away with that first layer of gesso, so I am moving it over to the other page, and then I'm going to take a piece of under paper and just lift up some of it that was excess.
반짝이는 저기 Eiffel Tower shines from anywhere 아름다워.
All right, so I've pulled out some golden fine pumice gel. It is a sand paste, and I have decided to use this as my quote-unquote mortar for my mosaic. Now, the mosaic I'm going to do here is not, you tell me, is this mosaic, does this count? So I am ripping pieces out of a security envelope. I really like the color of it. I like the texture, the visual texture it's going to bring, and how it's going to break that, the expanse of white and the expanse of red, and it's going to break that up a bit. And I'm going to lay those little pieces I'm going to rip out of this security envelope into the quote-unquote mortar that is that sand paste that I've laid down with the palette knife. And you'll see at first I'll start to lay this down kind of in line like you usually do mosaics, and then I'm going to break apart from that, and so you'll see that the irregularity comes in eventually. And as you can see, I'm pulling in some matte gel medium because that pumice gel started to dry pretty quickly, so I started using that. I really like the texture of the security envelope playing off of the texture off of that die cut doily. There's a feel that kind of brings you across the diagonal of the page to the other corner where the other doily is, and I really like that about where I placed this mosaic part of it.
21 degrees and sunny, just the way I always wanted. 더 바랄 것도 없어. 보이는 저기 Eiffel Tower shines from anywhere 아름다워 When I'm not with you all these shiny seas don't mean a thing 눈동자에 비친 Avenue des Champs-Élysées 그대와 같이 romantic해요 I love you 그대여 나와의 거리를 걸어요 Every day with you 난 그저 잔디밭에 누워있어도 좋아요
So I'm coming in with the golden product, which is like the other extreme end of the pumice gel. So this is an extra coarse. It is super coarse. It has big chunks in it. It's really fun to use. It's I'll put a link up in the upper right hand corner to where I review the sand paste. But anyways, I'm going to add this in areas. I felt like I needed some darkness, and I wanted whatever I end up using as the dark element or the dark medium, I want it to catch in some obvious texture. So I wanted to come in with this extra coarse pumice gel. So I gave that coarse texture gel a moderate dry with my blow dryer, and I'm just going to kind of set it off to the top and start to work on this focal. I knew I wanted to use this mushroom. I remembered I had this reproduction ephemera piece that someone had given me, and I knew I wanted to use it because I really liked how that red on the cap matched. And you know, mushrooms are just always good, a good idea, aren't they? So I wanted to get started on that because I knew I wanted to do something to it because it was just so warm and colors in the background and not very grungy. So I wanted to get in it and make some changes to it. So I start off with using my scissors and just scratching up the edge and then coming in with some archival ink. These are the distressed inks, and I come in with, I was trying to make a decision if I wanted to come in with the ground espresso. So I came in with the ground espresso, kind of faintly kind of bringing it in a bit more, and then I come in with the soot black on the edges to make those edges really pop off and kind of bring it in to match the rest of what's going on in the background. And in my bits basket, I had found this piece of punchinella in black, which I felt really would help bring it into the into the background. And so I knew I wanted to add that and layer that up as well. So I did some searching in my bits basket and found a piece of the red paper that I had used in the background as well to also help bring them in and tie them together, as well as a bit of cardboard, corrugated cardboard that I kind of rip up to sandwich in there, and then made the decision to go ahead and take it to my sewing machine.
Shines from anywhere 아름다워 When I'm not with you all these shiny seas don't mean a thing 눈동자에 비친 Avenue des Champs-Élysées 그대와 같이 romantic해요 I love you 그대여 나와의 거리를 걸어요 Every day with you 난 그저 잔디밭에 누워있어도 좋아요
So now that that coarse pumice gel is dry, I'm going to come in with a little bit of water. I'm going to spray first into those areas of texture water, and then I'm going to come in with some Marabou art spray in gray and black. So I'm just adding the gray because I want to get some nice mid-tones, and then I'm going to come in spots and come in with the black into that, just where the coarse texture gel is. Add some sprinkles, of course. I'm not a big sprinkle person, but I do that here. And then I'm going to add just a tad bit of Mosaic writing, and I was trying to get the flow going through that flip page. And I'll come in later and kind of give it a spritz with my water bottle just to bleed some of it out a little bit, just so it's not so standalone. It kind of blends a little bit into the background. And then I'm going to work on getting that focal point mounted onto that left page.
Degrees and sunny, just the way I always wanted. 더바랄 것도 없어. 지금 이대로면 좋아. 따스한 햇볕을 가득 담은 sand river. The bluebirds peacefully sing along.
While that focal is drying, I am searching through my quote tin for something to use on this page. I select the words I want to use, and I go ahead and edge that in some of the Distress Archival in black soot. I know that this was a long one, and if you've made it to this point, I really do appreciate you hanging in there. This one did take some time. I kind of knew that when I pulled Mosaic as the prompt last month, but I really do appreciate your hanging in with me. If you like what you're seeing on my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so.
Degrees and sunny, just the way I always 원해 더 바랄 것도 없어 지금 이대로면 좋아 따스한 햇볕이 가득 담은 Sand River.
All right, it is time to pull prompts for next month. So for April, so I have my inspiration sticks here, and I'm gonna pull. Pencil marks is our first prompt. There we go. Pencil marks is our first prompt. Circles are our second prompt for April. And handwriting. All right, so April's prompts have been pulled. So glad to have you coming along for the ride. I'll see you next month for Year of the Book, April.